Welcome to our introduction of the Managed Service Provider feature of the hybrid cloud platform for HPE GreenLake. This video is second part of a multi-part series designed to help you get started with this feature on the platform. In this video, we will talk about services on the platform and the various aspects of it within the MSP and tenant space. Also, from an onboarding standpoint, once you create a workspace, the next step can be to start provisioning services. Let's see what we have in store. A service in the HPE GreenLake platform represents a specific offering or functionality that can be deployed and managed to address different IT needs. For example, services like Aruba Central provide cloud-based network management, while Compute Ops Management simplifies cloud-based infrastructure and server management. Think of these services as individual tools that empower users to achieve specific outcomes, such as network analytics or streamlined data operations, all within the GreenLake ecosystem. Upon logging into the platform and subsequently into the MSP workspace, you will notice the service option in the navigation bar up top. Our focus for today's video will be on the Services tab. Let's click on the Services button and explore the world inside. When you log into the platform and navigate to the Services menu, the first section you'll see is My Services. This is where you can view all the services that have been provisioned for your account. It's a centralized place for managing all HPE services. Now that you're familiar with the My Services section, let's click into the next tab to dive deeper into how you can explore and manage the full catalog of available services. The Services catalog is where you explore all the available services on the platform. Think of this as a menu offering a variety of services to choose from. From here, you can discover new services, evaluate them, or even provision them directly. This section is designed to help you find the right solutions for your IT needs in just a few clicks. This also is a good point to segue into provisioning services. Once you've found the service you want, provisioning it is a seamless process that we'll cover next. When you click on a service, like Compute Ops Management, you'll see a detailed overview of what the service provides, its capabilities, and the region it supports. On this page, you'll notice a Request Evaluation button, which offers a 90-day free trial for up to 10 servers. Simply click on the button, fill out the form, and you're good to go. Since I already have this service provision, I have the option to either launch it or add more regions. Let's switch to a service that I haven't provisioned yet. On my services page, you'll notice Aruba Central is not provisioned. When I click on that service, the options change. Instead of launch, you'll see the provision option. Just click on provision and follow the instructions. It's also worth noting that for Aruba services, there's a default 30-day trial period offered by HPE. So far, you've been exploring the MSP workspace, and as you've seen, while the concept and offerings of services are similar, whether you are in an MSP or a customer workspace, there are some important differences. First, let's talk about how services are provisioned. In the MSP workspace, you need to provision a service first. Once that's done, it will be listed in the customer workspace under the services catalog. If the service isn't provisioned in the MSP workspace, it won't even show up for the customer to use. The same goes for regions. You first need to add the region in the MSP workspace, and only then you will be able to add it in the customer workspace. The second key difference is the view. When you launch a service like Aruba Central from MSP Workspace, you can see all your customers' Aruba instances. This includes the status of the devices, their health, any alerts, and the ability to configure devices for every customer under your management. However, When the same service is launched from the customer workspace, the customer only sees the devices they own or they've given the MSP permission to manage. Essentially, the MSP has a broader global view while the customer's view is limited to their own environment. It is worth noting that some services are specific to tenant workspaces. For instance, services like User Experience Insight don't have a launchable app at the MSP level. These services can only be enabled at the MSP level but are provisioned and launched within tenant workspaces. Lastly, let's go through the process of deploying a service. First, we'll head over to a customer workspace to see which services are already provisioned. As you can see, there are no services provisioned yet, and there isn't even an option to provision any services. The reason for this is that the service hasn't been provisioned in the MSP workspace yet. So let's go back to the MSP workspace and complete the necessary step there. Now that we are back in the MSP workspace, let's navigate to the Services section and provision Compute Ops Management in the US West region. Once it's provisioned, we can go back to the Customer workspace and notice a change on the Services page. The service will now show up and we can follow the same process we just did to have the service up and running on the customer side as well. On the home page of the platform, you'll notice multiple ways to access the services option. The idea is to help you find what you need quickly, complete tasks efficiently, and focus more on your core business. For example, besides the services option in the navigation bar at the top, you can also check out the services catalog directly from the Find Services tile on the home page. If you want to access your existing service subscriptions, you can easily find a link to them under Quick Links on the right hand side. The Recent Services section highlights the services you've recently used, making it easy to pick up right where you left off. Lastly, you'll find a list of recommended services at the bottom half of the page. These are AI-based recommendations tailored to your usage, ensuring you get suggestions that align with your needs. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on managed service provider functionality within the HPE GreenLake platform.